Students, let us begin the next chapter, Ecosystem, chapter 14th. Topics to be covered in this chapter are ecosystem structure and function, productivity, decomposition, energy flow, ecological pyramids, ecological succession, nutrient cycling, ecosystem services. Students, what is ecosystem? Ecosystem is a functional unit of nature where living organisms interact among themselves and also with the surrounding physical environment. Eco andre environment. Eco andre ಏನು environment. System ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? System means interacting group. Interacting group. Interacting group may be living organism. Interacting group ಅಂದ್ರೆ living organism. Eco ಅಂದ್ರೇನು environment, system ಅಂದ್ರೇನು interacting group. Interacting group may be living organism. So how to define ecosystem? Ecosystem is a functional unit of nature where living organisms interact among themselves and also with the surrounding physical environment is called ecosystem. One more time, ecosystem is a functional unit of nature where living organism is interacting among themselves and also with the surrounding physical environment is called ecosystem. When you see the word ecosystem, it greatly vary in size. Ecosystem greatly vary in size. Either it may be micro environment as small as pond, or it may be macro environment as large as ocean. The term ecosystem was first called by A.G. Tansley. Before it was called biosynosis. But according to Odum, ecosystem is a basic functional unit of ecology in which both biotic and abiotic communities influences with each other. Odum prakara ecosystem andreno, it is a basic functional unit of ecology in which both biotic and abiotic communities influences with each other. Biotic communities are living communities, abiotic communities are non-living communities. Biotic ಮತ್ತು abiotic communities ಎರಡು influences with each other ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದನ್ನೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? ಎಕೋಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. It is the basic function unit of ecology in which both biotic and abiotic communities influences with each other, and that is called ecosystem. Students, let us learn the types of ecosystem. Ecosystem is broadly classified into terrestrial ecosystem, aquatic ecosystem. Terrestrial ecosystem again classified into natural ecosystem, man-made ecosystem. Man-made ecosystem ಗೆ example ಯಾವುದು? Cropland. Natural ecosystem again classified into grassland ecosystem. Grassland ecosystem ಗೆ example ಯಾವುದು? Savanna. Forest ecosystem example is tropical rainforest, tropical deciduous forest, etc. Desert ecosystem again classified into two types. Hot type, example for hot type is Thar desert. Cold type, example for cold type is Ladakh. So this is about terrestrial ecosystem. Let us see the aquatic ecosystem. Aquatic ecosystem again classified into natural ecosystem, man-made ecosystem. Man-made ecosystem ಗೆ example ಯಾವುದು? Aquarium. Natural ecosystem again classified into marine ecosystem. Example for marine ecosystem is sea, ocean, etc. Freshwater ecosystem again classified into lotic ecosystem, lentic ecosystem. Lotic ecosystem ಗೆ example ಯಾವುದು? Streams, springs, rivers, etc. Lentic ecosystem ಗೆ example ಯಾವುದು? Pond, lake, swamp, etc. So this is all about types of ecosystem. Students, let us learn about structure of ecosystem. The two important structural features of an ecosystem are species composition, stratification. The two important structural features of an ecosystem are, first one is species composition, second one is stratification. What do you mean by species composition? Species composition andrenu? Name itself indicate identification and numerization of plants, animals and microbial species of an ecosystem gives the species composition. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಎಕೋಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಸ್ಪೀಸೀಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಲೈಕ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್, ಅನಿಮಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಮೈಕ್ರೋ ಆರ್ಗನಿಸಮ್, ಅದನ್ನು ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿ ನ್ಯೂಮರೈಸೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಸ್ಪೀಸಿಸ್ ಕಾಂಪೋಸಿಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಸ್ಪೀಸಿಸ್ ಕಾಂಪೋಸಿಷನ್? ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ and numerization of plants, animals and microbial species of an ecosystem gives the species composition. The second one is stratification. What do you mean by stratification? Vertical distribution of different species occupying different trophic level. Vertical distribution of different species occupying different trophic level. ಈ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕು. ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಎನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್. ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಕ್ಯುಪೈ ಟಾಪ್ ಲೇಯರ್. ಸೊ ಒಂದು ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಟ್ರೀಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಆಕ್ಯುಪೈ ದ ಟಾಪ್ ಲೇಯರ್. ದ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಲೇಯರ್ ಈಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ shrubs occupy the second layer, and then you can see herbs like grasses you can see, and then you can see decomposers. So this trees will occupy the topmost layer, and next comes the shrubs T3, and then you can see T2, and then you can see T1. T1, T2, T3 and T4 are the different trophic level. That is decomposers, they occupy the bottom of the forest, that is trophic level 1. Next comes the herbs like grasses, they occupy the second trophic level. ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ದೊಡ್ಡದಾಗಿರೋದು ಯಾವುದು, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ shrubs, that is T3, trophic level 3, and large trees, they occupy the topmost position, that means T4. That means here in the forest you can see vertical distribution. Trees, shrubs, herbs like grasses and decomposers, they are in vertical distribution. So trees occupy the top layer of the forest, shrubs occupy the second layer, whereas herbs occupy the third layer, and bottom layer is occupied by decomposers. So vertical distribution of different species in different trophic level. Vertical distribution of different species in different trophic level is called stratification. It is not horizontal distribution. It is vertical distribution of different species occupying different trophic level is called stratification. So these are the two important structural features of an ecosystem, that is species composition and stratification. Now when you see the ecosystem, you can see two main components. So ecosystem has two main components, that is abiotic components and biotic components. Let us see one by one. The first one is abiotic component. What are abiotic components? Abiotic components are non-living components that include sunlight, water, temperature, pressure, oxygen, CO2, like any other gases, etc. They are nothing but abiotic component. Abiotic components andre no, they are the non-living components. They are not living, they are non-living components. Example is sunlight, water, temperature, pressure, different gases like CO2, oxygen, etc. They are nothing but abiotic component of an ecosystem. The second one is biotic component. What are biotic components? Biotic components are living components. Biotic components andre no, living components. And these biotic components are classified into three types. First one is autotrophic component. Second one is heterotrophic component. Third one is decomposers. Let us learn one by one. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಏನು, ಆಟೋಟ್ರೋಪಿಕ್ ಕಾಂಪೊನೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ಆಟೋ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಸೆಲ್ಫ್. ಟ್ರೋಪಿಕ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಟ್ರಾಪಿಕ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ಆಟೋಟ್ರೋಪಿಕ್ ಕಾಂಪೊನೆಂಟ್ಸ್? ದ ಆರ್ಗನಿಸಮ್ ವಿಚ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ದೇರ್ ಓನ್ ಫುಡ್, ದೇ ಆರ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಆಟೋಟ್ರೋಪಿಕ್ ಕಾಂಪೊನೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ದೇ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಟೋಟ್ರೋಪ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸರ್ಸ್. ಯಾವ ಆರ್ಗನಿಸಮ್ಸು ತನ್ನ ಪಡಿಗೆ ತಾನೇ ಫುಡ್ಡನ್ನು ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೋ ಅಂಥ ಆರ್ಗನಿಸಮ್ಸಿಗೆ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಆಟೋಟ್ರೋಪಿಕ್ ಕಾಂಪೊನೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆಟೋಟ್ರೋಪ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ದೀಸ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡ್ ಗ್ರೀನ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್, photosynthetic bacteria and cyanobacteria, which show photosynthesis and prepare organic food, that is glucose, with the help of CO2, water and sunlight. ಅಂದರೆ CO2, ವಾಟರ್ ಮತ್ತು ಸನ್ಲೈಟನ್ನು ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಫುಡ್ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ನ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅಂಥ ಆರ್ಗನಿಸಮ್ಸಿಗೆ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಆಟೋಟ್ರೋಪಿಕ್ ಕಾಂಪೊನೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಆಟೋಟ್ರೋಪ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಇಸ್ ಗ್ರೀನ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್, photosynthetic bacteria and cyanobacteria. Example for autotrophic component in terrestrial ecosystem is herbs, shrubs and trees. Example for autotrophic component in aquatic ecosystem is free floating phytoplanktons. And this is about autotrophic components. The second one is heterotrophic component. Hetero andre nu, different. Trophic andre trophic level. So what are heterotrophic components? Heterotrophic component include animals which consume producers and other animals. ಈ ಹೆಟ್ರೋಟ್ರೋಪಿಕ್ ಕಾಂಪೊನೆಂಟ್ ಏನನ್ನ ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಈ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸರ್ಸ್ನ ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಹೆಟ್ರೋಟ್ರೋಪಿಕ್ ಕಾಂಪೊನೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡ್ ಅನಿಮಲ್ ವಿಚ್ ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮ್ಸ್ ಆಟೋಟ್ರೋಪಿಕ್ ಕಾಂಪೊನೆಂಟ್ ಆರ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸರ್ಸ್. ದೀಸ್ ಹೆಟ್ರೋಟ್ರೋಪಿಕ್ ಕಾಂಪೊನೆಂಟ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮರ್ಸ್. ಈ ಆಟೋಟ್ರೋಪಿಕ್ ಕಾಂಪೊನೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವೋ ಅದೇ ಥರ ಹೆಟ್ರೋಟ್ರೋಪಿಕ್ ಕಾಂಪೊನೆಂಟ್ಗೆ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಹೆಟ್ರೋಟ್ರೋಪಿಕ್ ಕಾಂಪೊನೆಂಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ consumers. Heterotrophic component is also called consumers. And these heterotrophic component or consumers again classified into three types. Primary consumer, they are also called herbivorous organism. Secondary consumer, they are also called primary carnivorous organism. Tertiary consumers, they are also called secondary carnivorous organism. Let us learn one by one. First one, primary consumers. Primary consumers, they are also called herbivorous organism like insects, birds, rabbit, deer, cattle, etc. And these primary consumer, they feed on producer, they are nothing but plants. Primary consumer, they feed on producers, they are nothing but plants. The second one is secondary consumer, they are also called primary carnivorous organism. Secondary consumers, they are also called primary carnivorous organism. They are the animal like fox, frog, bird, fishes, bear, etc. These feed on primary consumers. Secondary consumers are the animal like fox, fish, birds, fox, etc. which feed on primary consumers. Secondary consumers which feed on primary consumers. The last one is tertiary consumer. So what are tertiary consumer? Tertiary consumer is also called secondary carnivorous organism, and this secondary carnivorous organism which feed on secondary consumers. Secondary carnivorous organism which feed on secondary consumer or primary carnivores. Example is wolf, tiger, lion, snake, etc. So these are nothing but the types of consumers. Let us learn one more time. As we know, primary consumer, they are also called herbivorous organism like insects, birds, rabbit, deer, cattle, etc. which feed on producers. They are nothing but autotrophic components. The second one is secondary consumer. Secondary consumer, they are also called primary carnivorous organism. They are the animal like fox, frog, bird, fishes, bear, etc. which feed on primary consumer, that is herbivorous organism. The last one is tertiary consumer. They are also called secondary carnivorous organisms like wolf, tiger, lion, snakes, etc. These tertiary consumer, they feed on secondary consumers. And this is about heterotrophic components. And the last one is decomposers. So what are decomposer? Decomposers are the organism which act on dead and decaying organic matter and they convert into CO2, nitrogen, phosphorus and help in material recycling. Decomposers ಅಂದ್ರೇನು? ಡೆಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಡೀಕೇಯಿಂಗ್ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಈ ಡಿಕಂಪೋಸಸ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಆದರೆ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ನ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಇನ್ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ and it is involved in material recycling process and they are nothing but decomposers. One more time, when you see these decomposers, they are present in the floor of the forest, bottom of the pond and other ecosystem. ಈ ಡಿಕಂಪೋಸಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿರುತ್ತೆ? ಫ್ಲೋರ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಬಾಟಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪಾಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದೇ ತರ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಎಕೋಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಾಟಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತದನ್ನ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? ಡಿಕಂಪೋಸಸ್. and these decomposers, they act on dead and decaying organic material and they are converted into inorganic substances like CO2, nitrogen, phosphorus, etc. and help in material recycling. One more time, decomposers which are present in floor of the forest, bottom of the pond and other ecosystem. Decomposers, they are also called detritus and these decomposers, they break organic matter into inorganic substances like CO2, nitrogen, phosphorus, etc. and it also helpful in material recycling. And this is about the biotic components. The interaction between biotic and abiotic components result in physical structure of an ecosystem. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಎಕೋಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬಯೋಟಿಕ್ ಮತ್ತು abiotic component ನಡುವೆ ಇಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಇರಬೇಕು. and this is all about the two components of an ecosystem.
Students, let us learn about structure and function of pond ecosystem. When you observe the pond ecosystem, you can see shallow water with three zones you can see. The three zones are littoral zone, lemnitic zone, profundal zone. Let us learn one by one. The first zone is called littoral zone. What do you mean by littoral zone? Littoral zone present in outer surface of the pond. Littoral zone ಎಲ್ಲಿರುತ್ತೆ? They are present in outer surface of the pond, where you can see shallow water with rotten plants and animals, rooted floating plants you can see. Littoral zone ಅಂದ್ರೇನು? It occupy outer surface of the pond where you can see shallow water. Shallow water ಅಂದ್ರೇನು? Water is not very deep in this region. And in this region you can also see rotten, ಕೊಳ್ತೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರುವಂತ plants ಮತ್ತು animals ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Even you can see rooted floating plants ಕೂಡ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. One more time, what is littoral zone? Littoral zone occupies surface of the pond where you can see shallow water with rotten plants and animals, rooted floating plants you can see. The next region is, the next zone or the next region is lemnitic zone. Lemnitic zone occupy middle portion of the pond to a depth where light can penetrate in water. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸನ್ ರೇಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ಪೆನಿಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೋ ಆ ಜಾಗನ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? ಲೆಮ್ನಿಟಿಕ್ ಝೋನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಅಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಕ್ಯುಪೈ ಮಿಡಲ್ ಪೋರ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪಾಂಡ್ ವೇರ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ಮೈಕ್ರೋ ಆರ್ಗನಿಸಮ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಕ್ಟಾನ್ಸ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ. ಪ್ಲಾಂಕ್ಟಾನ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸಬ್ಮರ್ಜೆಡ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ಲೆಮ್ನಿಟಿಕ್ ಝೋನ್? ಲೆಮ್ನಿಟಿಕ್ ಝೋನ್ ಆಕ್ಯುಪೈ ಮಿಡಲ್ ಪೋರ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪಾಂಡ್ ವೇರ್ ಲೈಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಪೆನಿಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ದಿಸ್ ರೀಜನ್ ವೇರ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ಮೈಕ್ರೋ ಆರ್ಗನಿಸಮ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಕ್ಟಾನ್ಸ್. The last region is profundal zone. Profundal zone represent bottom of the pond. Profundal zone represent bottom of the pond where light cannot penetrate into this region and it is dark region. There is no photosynthetic organism. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಲೈಟೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ photosynthetic organisms ಕೂಡ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. The mud at the bottom of the pond, ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಇರುವಂತ ಮಡ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ, the mud at the bottom of the pond contain anaerobic bacteria, fungus and microorganisms you can see. So what is profundal zone? Profundal zone represent bottom of the pond where light cannot penetrate into this region. Hence it appears dark. There is no photosynthetic organisms. Photosynthetic sunlight ಇಲ್ದಲಿರೋ ಕಾರಣ ಯಾವುದೇ ತರ photosynthetic organisms ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. The mud at the bottom of the pond contain anaerobic bacteria, fungus and microorganism. So these are the three zones of pond ecosystem. Pond ecosystem contain two components, abiotic components, biotic components. What are abiotic components? Abiotic components are non-living components that include water. In water, organic and inorganic constituents are dissolved in it. The air above the surface of the water contains free living oxygen and CO2. The sunlight reaches the surface of the water and penetrates up to 4 to 5 meters. Sunlight ಎಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ಪೆನಿಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? 4 to 5 meters ವರೆಗೂ ಪೆನಿಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಹೆನ್ಸ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾರ್ಮ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಬಾಟಮ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಇಸ್ ಕೋಲ್ಡ್. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ abiotic component. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಬಯೋಟಿಕ್ ಕಾಂಪೊನೆಂಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೇನು? ಬಯೋಟಿಕ್ ಕಾಂಪೊನೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಕಾಂಪೊನೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ದಟ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸರ್ಸ್, ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮರ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಡಿಕಂಪೋಸರ್ಸ್. ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸರ್ಸ್? Producers, they are also called autotrophs. They can prepare their own food with the help of CO2, water and sunlight. So producers are autotrophs. Producers may be microscopic free-living phytoplanktons. Example, algae, diatoms, volvox. Producers microscopic ಆಗಿದ್ದು free-living phytoplanktons ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಯಾವುದು? algae, diatoms, volvox. Producers may also be like algae. Example, Spirogyra and Chera. Producers may be submerged plant ಕೂಡ ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು. For example, Vallisneria. Producers may also be floating plants. ನೀರಲ್ಲಿ ತೇಲ್ತಾ ಇರುವಂಥ ಆರ್ಗನಿಸಮ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು. Example, Pistia eichhornia. These are all the important producers in pond ecosystem. The next one is consumers. As we know, consumers are of three types you can see. Primary consumer, secondary consumer, tertiary consumer. Consumers are of three types: primary consumer, secondary consumer, tertiary consumer. When you see the primary consumer, they are minute microscopic zooplanktons. Primary consumers are minute microscopic zooplanktons like Paramecium, Daphnia, insects, larvae, etc. Primary consumers are minute microscopic organisms. They are zooplanktons like Paramecium, Daphnia, insect larvae. These zooplanktons, primary consumers are zooplankton. These zooplanktons, they feed on producers. The next one is secondary consumers. Secondary consumers may be small fishes, crustaceans, frog. Secondary consumers are small fishes, crustaceans and frog. And these secondary consumer, they feed on primary consumer. Tertiary consumers. Tertiary consumers are fishes, snakes, water bird. And these tertiary consumer, they feed on secondary consumers. So this is about consumers. And the last one is decomposers. So what are decomposers? Bacteria, fungi, flagellates which are abundant in mud water. Bottom of the pond ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ, mud ಇರುತ್ತೆ, mud water ಇರುತ್ತೆ. It contain different fungi, bacteria, some flagellates which convert dead and decaying organic matter, complex dead and decaying organic matter into simple inorganic substances. These inorganic substances are released into the atmosphere for reuse and they are used by the producers. And this is about pond ecosystem. One more time, as we know, when you see the structure and function of the pond ecosystem, it contains three zones. The surface zone is nothing but littoral zone. The middle zone is nothing but lemnitic zone. Bottom of the pond is nothing but profundal zone. It is a dark zone because sunlight cannot penetrate to this zone. When you see a pond ecosystem, it consists of both biotic and abiotic and biotic components. Abiotic components are non-living components that include water, where inorganic and organic substances are dissolved in it. Whereas biotic components that include producers, consumers and decomposers. And these biotic components are living components. Producers are nothing but autotrophs. Consumers may be of three types you can see. Primary consumer, secondary consumer, tertiary consumer. Primary consumer, they feed on producers. Whereas secondary consumer, they feed on primary consumer. Tertiary consumers, they feed on secondary consumers. And the last one is decomposers. Decomposers which are present at the bottom of the pond mud. In the bottom of the pond mud, you can see detritus or decomposers like fungi, flagellates, bacteria, which convert complex organic dead and decaying material into simple forms, simple inorganic forms, which are reused by the producers. And this is all about the pond ecosystem. Four basic components of an ecosystem are productivity, decomposition, energy flow, nutrient cycle. All these function as one unit in an ecosystem. ಎಲ್ಲದು ಎಕೋಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Students, let us learn about productivity. So how to define productivity? The rate of biomass produced at any trophic level during a period of time is called productivity. Productivity ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? The rate or amount of biomass or an organic matter produced at any trophic level during a period of time is called productivity. Productivity ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ನಿರ್ದಿಷ್ಟವಾದ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಟ್ರಾಪಿಕ್ ಲೆವೆಲಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬಯೋಮಾಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೋ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. Productivity is expressed in terms of kilocalories meter per square. Productivity of an ecosystem is of two types you can see. Primary productivity, secondary productivity. Let's learn about primary productivity. Primary productivity is defined as the amount of biomass or organic matter produced per unit area over a period of time by plants during photosynthesis is called ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ. ಅಂದರೆ ಫೋಟೋಸಿಂಥಸಿಸ್ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಏನನ್ನ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ? ಫುಡ್ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ನ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಫುಡ್ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ನ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? ಬಯೋಮಾಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಒಂದು ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಏರಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಫುಡ್ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಬಯೋಮಾಸನ್ನು ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೋ ಅದಕ್ಕೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಹೌ ಟು ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ? The amount of biomass or an organic matter produced per unit area over a period of time by plants during photosynthesis is called primary productivity. And it is expressed in terms of weight, gram per square ಅಂತಲೂ ಬರಿಬೋದು. ಅದೇ ಥರ ಎನರ್ಜಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಿಲೋ ಕ್ಯಾಲರೀಸ್ ಮೀಟರ್ ಪರ್ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಅಂತ. There are two types of primary productivity. They are gross primary productivity, net primary productivity. ಗ್ರಾಸ್ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿನ ನಾವು ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ GPP ಅಂತ ಬರಿಬೋದು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡಿಫೈನ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ರೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ಫೋಟೋಸಿಂಥಸಿಸ್. ಅಂದರೆ ಫೋಟೋಸಿಂಥಸಿಸ್ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಫುಡ್ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಅಥವಾ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ನ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೋ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಗ್ರಾಸ್ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡಿಫೈನ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ರೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ photosynthesis. Next one is net primary productivity. In a short form, we can write it as NPP. As we know, a considerable or small amount of GPP or an energy is utilized by plants in respiration. ಅಂದರೆ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿನ ಯುಟಿಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಗ್ರಾಸ್ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಮೈನಸ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಟರಿ ಲಾಸ್ ಈಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ನೆಟ್ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ. ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಗ್ರಾಸ್ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿನ ಯುಟಿಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಉಳಿಸಿರುತ್ತೋ ಅದನ್ನೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ನೆಟ್ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಗ್ರಾಸ್ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಮೈನಸ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಟರಿ ಲಾಸ್ ಇಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ net primary productivity. That can be indicated as GPP minus R is equal to NPP. Net primary productivity is the available biomass for the consumption of heterotrophs, that is herbivorous as well as decomposers. Secondary productivity. It is defined as rate of formation of new organic matter by consumer. ಅಂದರೆ ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮರ್ಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ನ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೊಳುತ್ತೋ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಸೆಕೆಂಡರಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೆಕೆಂಡರಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಇಸ್ ಡಿಫೈನ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ರೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ಬೈ ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮರ್ಸ್. ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಸ್ಪೀಸೀಸ್ ಇನ್ಹಿಬಿಟಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಎ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಏರಿಯಾ. ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಪೀಸೀಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರ ಮೇಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಈವನ್ environmental factors like pH, temperature, sunlight, etc. will also play a very important role in primary productivity. Availability of nutrients, nutrition ಪ್ಲಾಂಟಿಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರ ಮೇಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಈವನ್ photosynthetic capacity of plants will also play a very important role in primary productivity. Therefore, primary productivity vary in different ecosystem. The annual net primary productivity of the whole biosphere is approximately 170 billion tons of organic matter. Of this, despite occupying 70% are there in the surface, the productivity of ocean is about 55 billion tons. Rest of course is on land.